process was just me leaving my locks alone. I know there's a lot of do this, do that, but a lot of me was just like, I'm gonna let my locks do what they want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that was that. So today I'm just going to be answering a few questions that I get a lot about my locks. I tried to go on all my platforms, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram and Pinterest, and to see which questions I get the most. And I'm just basically going to answer majority of those questions in this video. So the first question that I get is, well, it's not in any particular order, but what products do I use for retwisting and interlocking? So when I'm interlocking, sometimes I use just water, but when I'm not using just water, I do use locking gel. Did I add any hair when installing my locks? No, I did not add any extensions when installing my locks. This is 100% all of my natural hair. How long does interlocking take? So I would say the whole process from beginning to end, including the front and the back, takes about 6 to 8 hours. It really depends. I do record a lot when I interlock my hair, so I feel like the time that it takes me is a little bit longer than the time that it would take somebody who's just doing it full on without trying to fix camera angles and stuff like that. What did I do with unraveling ends in the beginning? I literally just twisted them back up. I would see one that was unraveled, boom, 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 twist it back up, and I would be done with that. How to help your locks lock faster? I would say spray them with water as often as you can. I was wetting my hair probably every day or every other day. If not in the shower, then just with my spray bottle, taking it and just spritzing my hair whenever I could. Do I prefer retwisting over interlocking? No, I do prefer interlocking for the long term, but sometimes I just don't feel like interlocking, so I do a quick retwist. Like this time, I just did a quick retwist. It's just on the front of my lock. So yeah, you can't even really tell that I didn't do the back of my hair. But if I had to choose between the two, I definitely would choose interlocking. How do I keep my locks moisturized? Water, and seal it in with a lightweight oil. So that's my moisture routine, water and oil right there. And if you want to know what oil I use grapeseed oil. How do I see the back of my head when retie my hair? I do have a 3-part mirror. I will link it in the description box below. But yes, I got it off of Amazon before I started my journey, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to do the back of my locks without it. So yeah, I use a 3-part. It's called a 3-part barber mirror, but yeah, and I hang it on the back of the door. And I do have a video on my channel that I show my setup, so hopefully I can link it in the cards up above. How do I keep my ends curly? I would say if you want to keep your curly ends, keep them moisturized. I noticed that when I'm letting them dry, or when I'm not wetting them every day, that's when they tend to dry out the most, especially my ends, but just my locks in general. So if you want to keep your ends curly, keep them moisturized. Some people use conditioner. I don't use conditioner. I may start to use conditioner, but yes, keep them moisturized. Can microlocs be undone? This is a tough question, because I feel like if you sit and you try to comb them out, then yes, they can be undone, but that honestly seems like a long, tedious process, so I'm not sure if that's something that anybody would do. I have heard of people taking out their locks, and also I don't know if you can take them out when you interlock. I have heard of people combing their locks out, but they retwist as a form of their maintenance, so I'm not really sure. I don't plan on taking my locks out, so I didn't really research that aspect of the process. How often do I retie? I retie my locks every 6 to 8 weeks. Usually that's my goal, ideal. Sometimes it's before that, and sometimes it's after that. It kind of just depends on if I have something to do and when the 6 to 8 weeks is falling between, and if I just feel like doing it at that point. Like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing my full retie, so that's why I just retwist the front, especially if I have like an event or something that I want to retwist my hair for. What method did I use for my starter locks? For my starter locks, I used the two-strand twist method. I did not braid the roots. That's another question that I get a lot. Did I braid the roots? No, I just twisted from top to bottom, and then the next day after I finished installing all my twists, that's when I went in and I interlocked using the 2-point rotation. Difference between microlocs and sister locks. So microlocs, anybody can essentially do microlocs. I have microlocs, and sister locks have to be done by a sister lock consultant, and the technique that they use to install the locks is interlocking. So with my sister locks, it's interlocked from the root to the tip. There's no 2-strand twist in a sister lock. Okay, so that's why I say the technique is different. And yeah, so it has to be done a specific way and done by a specific loctician who is certified technically. What rotation do I use? I use a 2-point rotation, and why? That's the second part of the question. But it says, what rotation do I use and why? I use a 2-point rotation because I like the volume that it gives my locks. It doesn't make them so compact, and it keeps them loose to where they can like move and they're still like voluminous. So that's why I use a 2-point rotation. How to keep my ends from bunching? Honestly, I don't know. I didn't really do anything to keep my ends from bunching per se. I did I didn't really bother the bunching locks, so I don't know what, I really honestly don't know what bunching looks like. But if I had to guess, or if I had to like use my experiences, I didn't bother the bunching locks. I didn't pull them. I did hear of some people pulling them to unbunch them, but I just left them alone. A lot of my process was just me leaving my locks alone. Like, I know there's a lot of do this, do that, but a lot of me was just like, I'm gonna let my locks do what they want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that was that. What oils do I use? So grapeseed oil, number 1. I do use olive oil, and then I do use a main nutrients hair growth oil for my scalp. But my 2 main oils are grapeseed oil and olive oil. Did I install my locks myself? Yes, I did install my locks myself. I have an installation video showing you the entire process on my YouTube channel. It's my first actual video on my channel. So if you want to go see that, definitely go take a look. Did I braid the root before starting? No, I did not braid the root. I did 2 short twists from the top to the bottom. Did I interlock when you started with twists and then you? Okay, so that is a very good question. I interlocked. So my entire I guess installation process was me installing my twist and interlocking. So I know a lot of people, they just install their twist and then they interlock on their first retie. I did not wait until my first retie to interlock. I interlocked immediately after I installed all of my twists. So I started my process with interlocking the roots. Have you ever accidentally locked 2 of your locks together at the root? If so, what did you do? I know this might not be the best advice, but I simply just pull them apart. I pull them apart. And that's what I do when I interlock them at the roots. How do you do them at night and sleep? And do you put anything in your hair? At night, I usually don't put anything in my hair because I did, in the beginning, it was a point in time where I wet my hair before I went to sleep. Then I went to sleep and I woke up and it kind of had like a mildewy smell, and I learned my lesson from that, so I never did that again. But I do use like a satin or silk scarf or a bonnet. If I don't have my bonnet, I'll just take this and I'll tie it around my edges and just, you know, to keep everything up. But if I have my bonnet, I simply just put my bonnet on and go to sleep. What oil do I use? I already answered that. And then what do I use in my spray bottle? Whenever you see me with my green spray bottle, it's only water in there. I don't use it, and I don't put conditioner in there. As of now that I'm thinking about it, I might start to add like a little bit of conditioner, but as of now, up from when I started my locks to now, I have not put anything except for water in my spray bottle. So whenever you see me spraying my locks, that's all that is in my spray bottle, water. How often do I wash my locks? This is a good question. Wash. When I hear wash, I think of with shampoo. I don't wash my hair with shampoo often. I would say at least once a month, if that, honestly. I can probably go like a month and a half. But when I do get in the shower most days or some days, I do just rinse my hair. I let my locks sit under the water and just let, you know, the water run through my hair. So I guess some people consider that washing. I don't consider that washing. I consider it rinsing. But yeah, I wash my hair, I would say once a month. Do you wash your hair before or after your retie? I wash my hair before my retie. So this is my little process. So I wash my hair, let it dry. I usually wash my hair the day before I'm planning to retie my hair. So I'll wash it this day, retie the back this day, retie the front this day. So it's usually like a 3-day process of me doing my retie, just because I don't know, that's just easier to me, and I'm less overwhelmed versus trying to do all of that in one day. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna spread it out, and I'll just to give myself a peace of mind. Can you retwist your microlocs instead of interlocking them? Yes, you can definitely retwist your microlocs instead of interlocking them. I did just retwist the front of my locks, as you can tell. It's all up to you and your personal preference between the two. How long do I go in between reties? Usually 6 to 8 weeks. And how long did my installation take? I really don't know, because when I installed my starter locks, I was not working on them every day, all day. Like, I didn't set the intention to get them done in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I had a lot going on around that time, so I was really just working whenever I could. And I don't know, I want to say I finished the entire process from installing the starter locks to interlocking over the course of 2 weeks. But that's not with me working every day. What product did I use to start? So when I started my microlocs, I do get this question a lot. When I started my microlocs, you'll see me in the installation video, you'll see me show you the Murray's Twist gel, but in reality, I did not use a lot of the gel. I did use a little to twist down, but it wasn't like I was putting fully saturating the section with that gel. So but I did use Murray's Twist gel, and it's in a little yellow container with a black top. So that's what I used to install, but I didn't use a lot. How many locks do I have? I have 260 locks. Did I blow dry prior to installing? Yes, I did blow dry my hair prior to installing, because I felt like that would help me see my scalp better when it came to parting, and it just would make my hair more manageable. What was your hair texture when you were loose natural? I'm not sure, but if I can find a video, I will include a video. And when I say I'm not sure of the technicality of like a 4A, 4B, 4C type of texture. I never really understood those. Like, I never really typed in my hair. I tried to plenty of times, but I could never get like a specific answer, because I feel like I do have a lot of different textures on my head. How long did I wait before my first wash and retie? So I did my first wash at about 5 weeks after installing them, and my retie followed. So my first wash and retie was about 5 weeks after installing my locks. How did I deal with slippage in the beginning? So I just twisted them back up, or is that unraveling? Whichever it is, I just twist it back up, or if it's, okay, slippage is from the root. I go in and I re-interlock them. So a lot of mine that slipped was along my perimeter, especially in the front and in the back. So I just would go in and I would re-interlock them, but I would interlock with a 4-point rotation instead of a 2-point rotation, especially if that lock continuously slipped. So some of my locks in the back are 4-point rotations, and my locks right here on the side, as you can tell, this one lock is way longer than the rest of my locks. Let me find it. I just seen it. Okay, this one right here is way longer, and that's because it's literally interlocked from the root to the tip. Like, the 2-strand twist kept slipping, so I just interlocked it. And the same thing for this one. That's why it's much longer than the rest, is because I said I was just gonna go ahead and interlock them from root to tip, just so they wouldn't continue to root to tip, so they wouldn't continue to slip. Do I experience build up from deep conditioning? No, I do not experience build up from deep conditioning. 1, because I do not deep condition often, and 2, because when I do deep condition, I'm sure to rinse my hair completely until it rinses clear. And when I do deep condition, I don't use a lot of product. I don't use an excessive amount of product. I do get enough to like really penetrate my locks, but I don't use an excessive amount. And also, I deep condition probably once every 2 months. So yeah, those are the questions that I have right now. I am going to go back in, because I know I have tons and tons and tons of more questions, but I just wanted to go ahead and make basically a part 1 of this video. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to get more questions that you guys left me, but that's all that I have for you guys for this video. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I answered your question. If you're considering thinking if you're thinking about starting locks, or if you already have locks and you're in your beginner stages and these are some of the questions that you have, I hope I answered them well. If there is something you still need a little clarity on, be sure to leave your questions, your comments down below, and I'll definitely get back with you in the comments. I hope everyone has a beautiful and blessed day, and I hope that your locks continue to thrive. Peace and blessings to you all.